Hello, friends. I just finished watching MobLand Season 1, and I'm tempted to say that if this show continues at this level of quality, it could be one of the best crime dramas on television. And especially this year, at least, the year 2025, when I'm recording this, it feels like this show is one of the best things going on television. Now, unfortunately, I don't feel like there's that many great shows going on television right now, but at least we do have some stuff like this, barring any cancellations, that is. MobLand was created by Irish writer Ronan Bennett, and although I haven't seen much of his work, doing a little research, it seems like he is a very, he was the right guy for the job, because he's worked on some pretty mature stuff, it seems like. I mean, I'm just saying off of, internet searching, not that I've actually seen any of his work, but given the subject matter of a British crime drama like this, it feels like he's got his work cut out for him. On top of that, you may notice that a couple episodes were directed by Guy Ritchie. He was a producer on the show. It was only actually 2 episodes that were done by him. But it's kind of interesting because it's sort of a selling point on the show, and yet, I mean, as a British crime drama, right, this show does kind of have some of those Guy Ritchie-isms in there, I guess, like his sort of way of doing things, at least a little bit, but not fully. Like, it feels like it takes itself more seriously than that. But there are moments of comedy that felt like similar-ish to the other show that Guy Ritchie fully did, which was The Gentleman on Netflix. So, I mean, if you like Guy Ritchie stuff, if you like Snatch or any of that kind of stuff, then you'll probably really like MobLand. But it's not. I mean, this is not Guy Ritchie's show. I want to make that clear. I know some of the advertisement stuff for it almost made it seem like, oh shoot, he's really heavily involved with this. But from what I gathered online, he's not as involved as. I mean, he was involved, but it's not like this isn't like what The Gentleman was for Guy Ritchie, And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way, because we really do have a unique blend, sort of drama that it feels similar-ish to that kind of stuff, but notably different in specific ways that I can't even really articulate. Now, you may be wondering, right, so what is it that's so good about this show? Because clearly, I'm gonna say this is a great show. This is a really good show. I am recommending it. I'll just say that right off the top. And, well, it's because of this bitch right here. I joke because Helen Mirren she's incredible. She's amazing in the show. She's definitely one of the big selling points to watch the show. Helen Mirren is just a phenomenal actress all around. It's funny because I had actually just finished watching 1923, and you go from watching her play sort of a matriarch character in that show, where she's fairly kind, I mean, she's a very tough woman in that show, but in this show, she's just conniving, she's just evil, she's just manipulative, and she's a very special kind of character in this show. And I really like her to that. I'd actually equate her to, if you've seen Sons of Anarchy, Gemma in that show, that character. Very similar sort of matriarch character that is very involved with the plot, let's say. Now, Helen Mirren isn't the only character that is the selling point of the show. Of course, she's only one of the 3 pillars. We also have Pierce Brosnan, and he's also really good. He's got really good chemistry with Helen Mirren in the show, and he brings his own sort of crazy to the table. I love his accent. He's really entertaining to watch all around in that role. Of course, the big headline character that we got is Tom Hardy, and Tom Hardy is, he's amazing. I think he's actually one of the best actors out there at the moment. I mean, a lot of people talk about, a lot of great actors. Tom Hardy's one of the greats, I'm going to say it, and he is no stranger to crime dramas. I mean, you think of some of the crime roles that Tom Hardy has starred in. I mean, you think of Capone, you think of Bronson, you think of Legend, or his amazing performance in Peaky Blinders as Alfie Solomons. He's done all many other things besides those roles, and he's great at it, and they're all pretty different sort of criminal performances from him. In this, he's sort of a more level-headed character, like a far more level-headed sort of guy. He's the fixer, he's the cool guy. So he's not as like crazy or irrational. He's not like his role in Bronson. I thought Bronson was great, by the way. He's a lot more. He's the sane one, I'll say, in a lot of ways. Although he's still a bad guy, and that's one of the cool things about this show. This show, the characters, despite being all evil people, they're all horrible people. In a weird way, I almost equate it to Succession on that sort of level, because you hate all the characters. They're all horrible people, and the more you watch it, the more you realize these guys are bad people. But they're, like, likable. They're charming, you know? They're very charming of characters, so you keep watching it. Now, discussing some other stuff with the show, I mean, the characters are all amazing. All of the actors really bring their A-game. Just talking about the main headline characters, and they're all great, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Paddy Considine as Kevin Harrington. I think he is definitely a character that could be a fan favorite if he isn't already from the first season of the show. There's also Joanne Froggatt as Tom Hardy's character Harry, his wife Jan. She's pretty good as well. All of the actors, as I said, all the actors pretty good in the show, which is always really nice to see. I didn't really hate anybody, even though some characters were definitely doing stupid stuff. And well, there was one character I did dislike, but you're kind of meant to dislike them. Any of the characters that you dislike in the show, you're kind of meant to dislike, so that really works out, and it's fun to dislike them and watch what happens by the end. Now, discussing other stuff such as cinematography and music, I don't really have too much to write home about. The cinematography is good; it's serviceable. Same thing with the music, though. I don't know. I just didn't notice anything that stood out to me quite as much as in other shows that I've watched. So it's good. I mean, the cinematography, right? You do have some good shootout scenes here and there. I mean, nothing groundbreaking, nothing life-changing. There's one scene with Harry, Tom Hardy's character. There's one shootout scene. I really like the way it was shot, because the cool thing about the action scenes I've seen so far is that they are professionally done, where you can tell the setting, you can see the environment that the action is happening in. I have kind of like a pet peeve where I just can't stand it when you just see bullets flying but you don't know where anybody is or what's going on. It's just chaos, just for the sake of chaos, and not really complementing the story. But in this show, the way they do the action, it's like you can visualize the entire environment that the characters are in. And on top of that, when there is action, somebody gets shot or like any violent act happens, the camera focuses on it and lets you take it in. And it's another thing I like, it makes the action hit harder. And the show generally does that. It's nothing like this. That's not the reason you want to watch this show for, any of the action scenes. I'm still bringing it up because I feel like that based on the one really good action scene I thought they had, it was really short, but I was like, in future seasons of the show, if it continues, they could actually give us some pretty cool little scenes for sure. I mean, they definitely have the skill there, the template there for sure. But as I said, that's not the reason you would even watch the show in the first place. It's because of the characters, because of the writing, because of the drama that takes place throughout this season, which this season is very much kind of a sort of like almost a revenge sort of thing, but you're not really focusing on the person trying to get revenge. You're focusing on the family in the middle that's trying to keep everything from going out of control. You're mainly following Harry, who is the fixer, as I said earlier, and watching him try to make things go calm down and not get out of control, and make sure that there isn't a big gang war, basically, while different characters in the show have different sort of motives and goals behind the scenes that are triggering things to go a certain way. Anyway, the show actually had a pretty strong ending to the season, though it did have a cliffhanger. And I will say this: there's one negative I do have for the show, and it's that I felt like by the end they kind of forced a bit of they needed an ending, a cliffhanger ending that really was like, oh shoot, I need to watch the next one, know what happens. And there's a certain plot choice that I thought was a little bit stupid. I don't really want to spoil it, but if you see it, you know what I'm talking about. I just thought it was stupid and pointless, because I would have watched the show anyway without them doing their stupid little trying to bait you in with a moment that happens that I'm trying to not spoil, but there's a thing that happens that feels like it's just because they needed something to get you to watch the next season, and it's stupid. It was pointless, took me out of it, especially for how like kind of realistic and gritty the show's been. I mean, it's not plausible what happens. If you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But despite that, I still am recommending the show because I think it's really good. It's definitely worth your time. There aren't a ton of shows out there that are worth your time like this, especially when it comes to TV. So many TV shows, I feel like they're so like they're just not really made within the episodic format. And this show feels like it's returning almost to that older sort of crime drama format, like, I mean, Breaking Bad or Sopranos, stuff like that. Except this is still somewhat faster paced, where you get to the big moments fairly quickly over the course of the 10 episodes of the first season. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about this show because I definitely think it's worth your time and it's pretty good. So really, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, consider leaving a like. If you really like the video, consider subscribing. As of making this video, am at 97 subscribers, I believe. And so you could potentially get me to tip over to 100, which is kind of a really cool milestone for me. So thank you all for watching yet again. I really appreciate it. And see you on the next one.